Welcome back to this video. This video will see port address translation with exit interface. The last video we saw PAT was a slightly different method we used. So in the last video what we did purchase one IP address. Then we used that one IP address for all our devices, all four devices here, to go outside our network. So in this method, port address translation with exit interface, instead of even purchasing that one IP address, this is the IP address we purchased, right, in the last video. So instead of even purchasing this 50111, so I'm just going to erase that. Okay, that is gone. So instead of even doing that, why don't we utilize this interface, exit interface? So whatever the IP address is there, we can just use that for all these devices. So most likely this link, in this WAN link, the IP addresses are given through DHCP. So there might be some change in IP address every now and then. So this 101.150 will become something else. So that is why we are not giving this particular IP address. We are not using this particular IP address. Instead of that, we just use this exit interface or this serial interface here, and whatever the IP address is there, it will just map that. So therefore the network will not be down. There will not be any conflict, as if we give this 101.150, then when the IP address changes, then there is a conflict, right? So instead of that, we'll just provide this exit interface, here, and it will just map that whichever address is here at that particular time. So that's how we'll configure this port address translation with exit interface. Everything is almost the same. So we need to go to our router. We need to create this default route. I have already configured that. So if you want to practice this lab, you will need to provide this default route 00000000 100.112 is the next stop address here. Then go to this ISP, do the same thing, but there is a slight difference here. Instead of providing next stop, provide serial interface. Why? Because again the same concept, DHCP conflict might happen if you provide next stop address. So it's better safe to provide the exit interface, which is S010, this one. Let me show you this interface right here. Okay, that will be our exit interface on this ISP. Then go to our router. We need to specify private network using access list. That is the first step. Second step is going to be actually map access list with interface. If you remember, in the last video we specified our public network using pool. That step is not needed here because we are not creating any pool. Why? Because we are not using any IP address. We are using this exit interface, therefore no need for any pool. So our second step actually in this lab would be to map access list with interface. Then the third step here is IP NAT in or out, meaning which one is our inside network, which one is our outside network. So this G000 will be our in network, S010 will be our out network. That is all the configuration. So let's start doing this lab. So first we'll specify private network using access list. Access list, just use one. Permit, because we are not denying anything. Permit 192.168.1.0 wildcard bits 0.0.0.255. Then we'll need to map access list with interface. So again, this access list with this S010 interface here. So IPNAT inside source list number, whatever access list number we have given, we need to provide it here. So I use 1, so 1 and then question mark, and then I need to say pool or interface here, right? I have two options, but remember, we are not providing pool here. We haven't created any pool. We are using interface, so we need to say interface, and then which interface? S0, this one, S010. Sorry, I missed one important keyword here. We need to say overload also, because if we don't say overload, this method will not work. We haven't created any pool. We are using this interface. So in order for all the devices to go outside, we need to say this overload. Otherwise, only one of these devices will be able to go outside using this address. So in order for all the devices to go outside without any conflict, we need to say overload. Okay. Now we need to specify our inside and outside network. So interface G000 IPNAT inside, interface S010 IPNAT outside. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll start pinging each one to this Google server here. Okay, ping 200.111. Okay, we go to the next one. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Okay. All of them are pinging. So what we'll do is we'll go to this router. We'll see the translations. The command is do show IP NAT translation. And I'm only putting do here because I'm in the configuration mode. Okay. Otherwise, you don't need to put do. Just put show IP NAT translation. Here you can see, so 1.1, right? 1.2 is showing first because that's the address that got the reply first. 1.1 because there's a ARP request, so that's why 1.1 is showing. Actually, where is 1.1? Last, because it pinged last after doing the initial ARP request. So 1.2 actually will start from 1.1. 1.1 got 100.150. This 1.2 got 100.150, right? 1.3 also got 100.150. Our destination is the same, right? 200.111. And then 1.4 got 100.150. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll go back to this command prompt. So we'll continuously ping. So in order to do that, we'll say ping space dash T, okay, and then 200.111, and then we'll put this here on the side. Okay, it will continuously ping, it will not stop. And while that's going on, what we'll do, we'll go to this router. Okay, we'll change this 100.1150 to something else. Okay, so interface S010 IP address 100.11, let's say 60. Okay, oh, I didn't provide subnet mask. 255.255.255.0. So what happens now is it will continuously ping without any conflict, because we have provided the exit interface, right? So there will not be any conflict even though we change the IP address. So what we'll do is we go back and see the translation, and see here, we can see here after 100.1150 it changed to 100.1160 from here onwards, and we ping from 1.1 and our destination is 200.111. So without, say, it's still pinging without any conflict, we are able to send packets between one device to the other, even though the address has changed. And that's the benefit of using port address translation with exit interface. Hope it helps somewhat. Hope you understood the concept. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments. Other than that, in the next video we'll see some other concept. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you and good day.